Hey everybody, very briefly, I just wanted to talk about a few comedy clips I thought were pretty funny. When I was in Vegas. I didn't think everyone's familiar with Carrot Top, but he always has a warm-up comedian, and the last few times we saw him, I forget what his name is, really funny. He had this same warm-up comedian, and he did like a lot of comedy about Vegas and about COVID, stuff like that, and you know, not actually within the city limit, the outside of Vegas, prostitution is legal, and he was talking about COVID, and he says, "Oh man," he says, "What?" Some couple of clips I'm going to talk about. He says, "What a time to be a hooker." It's like, not that there's ever a great time to be a hooker, but now is really a really bad time to be a hooker. And he said something like, "Oh, you always have to worry about gonorrhea or chlamydia," but he's like, "Now you got to worry about a cough." And then he coughed a couple times. He's like, "Oh, you fucking bitch! You gave me COVID." And then he was talking about a friend of his was afraid to get the vaccine for COVID. He's like, "Oh, I'm not getting the vaccine because I don't know what's in it." He's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Well, you don't know what's in Oreos, but yet you'll sit down and eat a whole box of those, won't you? One sitting, you fat fuck." Oh, and yeah, he did a joke. I don't know if it was very true, but he did a joke. He talked about his son getting a DUI. I don't know if it's really true. It sounded a little too far-fetched, but still funny nonetheless. But he talked about, he realized he discovered his son got a DUI. He saw it on the news. His son was driving drunk and hit a house. I guess he was called the comedian from his dad from jail. And he said, "Dad, I got a DUI. I'm in jail. I hit a house." And then he's like, "Yeah, I saw that on the news." And he's like, "Oh, Dad, it's not that bad." He was begging his dad to bail him out. And he said he wasn't going to bail him out. He was going to let him stay in jail, learn his lesson. And he's like, "Oh, do you know what happens to young boys like me in jail?" And he says, "Do you know what, son? It's not that bad." And there's also this travel. He's from Seattle. His name's, you might find some clips of him on YouTube. His name's Gabriel Rutledge. Rutledge. I think it's Rutledge. And I've seen him a few times. He's pretty funny. Richard wrote a book when he was traveling. He's from Seattle, but he travels all over the United States to do comedy shows. Saw him twice in Arizona, once in Springfield, Illinois. And he did a comedy show once for a older crowd. I guess there was a bunch of old guys in the crowd, and he said, "Oh," he said, "this looks like an audition for a Viagra commercial, or infomercial or something like that." And I guess that didn't sit well with a lot of the old guys. One thing about being a comedian, I kind of dreamed about being a comedian, but it's kind of hard to know where to draw the line. You could, you're always going to offend people one way or another. And Springfield is oh man, it looks like there's a lot of street corners. It's dumpy. A lot of street corners there. It looks like you could find drugs easily, no problem. And he made a joke. He said, "Oh yeah, Springfield, my God, what a town this is." And he joked around. He said, "Oh, does anybody know where I can find some really good crack in this town?" After some people raised their hands. And he's like, "Thank you very much." He's like, "You're all under arrest by the end of the show, by the way." Oh. And then another talking about offensive. The last one I'm going to talk about, that warm-up comedian I saw in Vegas. He's like, "Oh, how's everybody doing at the tables? Anybody winning money?" And some guy said, "Oh yeah, I won." And he said, "How much you win?" I guess he was looking for big money. This guy said he only won $1. He's like, "Oh, $1? Get the hell out of here." He's like, "I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars." And he said, $1. Well, I guess if you're happy with that, he's like, "Be my guest, go ahead," And then the guy, I guess, really took offense to it. I didn't hear what he said. He was like in the first or second row, and that's what he said. I guess I didn't hear what he said. But the comedian's like, "Oh, why am I making fun of you?" He's like, "Relax. What, you got Asperger's or something? So chill out. Take a chill pill or something like that." Oh, yeah, definitely. Gotta love comedians. Everybody loves comedians. Well, most should say most people. Some people don't have a sense of humor, but some people take offense to everything. That's all I got to say about that. Comment, like, share, subscribe. See you all real soon with another great video. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye.